Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Roman Reigns officially reclaimed his throne as the Tribal Chief, a title that has long been disputed. He defeated Solo Sikoa in a grueling match on Monday Night Raw's premiere on Netflix and took possession of the revered Ula Fala. Now that he has potentially ended his chapter with Sikoa, what lies ahead for the former undisputed WWE champion? Many fans have been wondering when they will see Reigns again on television. Last night, the Stamford-based promotion seemingly dropped a potential hint about this question. The OTC may have subtly revealed that his next WWE appearance could be on the January 27th edition of Raw, which will emanate from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Last night on Raw, Paul Heyman was seen cheering up Roman Reigns backstage after his intense match. The WWE veteran emphasized the need for a grand platform through which the whole world could acknowledge the OTC, indicating his next appearance. In regard to this, the Wiseman asked Reigns to provide him with a date he would be available to host that. After putting his thought to it, the head of the table uttered, January 27th, before entering his locker room. As the door closed, 2K25 was seen emblazoned over the door. This was a huge tease of an announcement of WWE's next edition of the 2K video game series, and Roman Reigns will likely be associated with it. The segment also served as a subtle clue about his upcoming appearance. The above-mentioned segment last night left the WWE universe abuzz. Since then, rumors have been swirling that Roman Reigns could be on the cover of 2K25 this year. There is a possibility that Paul Heyman could make that huge revelation on the January 27th edition of Raw, during which he is likely to hold a potential acknowledgement ceremony for the OTC. The platform Heyman referred to could be none other than WWE's 2K25. WWE's 2K series video games are popular all over the world, and fans eagerly await its new edition every year. Reigns potentially being on the cover of the popular gaming series this year will be a historic wave for global fans to acknowledge his greatness. Roman Reigns' saga with the Bloodline has seemingly ended, and therefore, his appearances on SmackDown seem unlikely anytime soon. Meanwhile, the OTC is expected to make a few more appearances on Monday Night Raw this year, which was also reported by several dirt sheets. With the January 27th episode of Raw set to be the go-home edition of the red brand for Royal Rumble, he is expected to grace the show with his presence. Apart from what WWE has in store for him related to 2K25, Roman Reigns could also announce his participation in the men's Royal Rumble match this year. Hence, his next stop seems to be State Farm Arena, which is 2 weeks from now. In the world of WWE, few superstars command the attention and intrigue of Roman Reigns. The reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champion has masterfully blended his in-ring dominance with a carefully curated aura of mystery. Since adopting his Tribal Chief persona, Reigns has made sporadic appearances, adding to the allure of his character and leaving fans guessing when and where they might see him next. Recently, Reigns may have dropped a subtle hint about his next WWE appearance, sparking speculation across the WWE universe. Roman Reigns is not one to overshare on social media. His posts are usually calculated, aligning with his larger-than-life character. On a chilly January evening, fans noticed a peculiar post on Reigns' Instagram story. It was a simple image of the Universal Championship belt, placed on a table with the words, "Every journey has its milestones. Let's see what's next." The post, devoid of any explicit date or location, immediately set the wrestling world abuzz. Fans began dissecting the statement, wondering if it was a tease for an upcoming milestone match or a nod to his return to television. Adding fuel to the fire, Paul Heyman, Reigns' special counsel, shared the post on Twitter with the cryptic caption, "The island of relevancy always has surprises. Are you ready to acknowledge greatness again soon?" Roman Reigns has been on a reduced schedule since his monumental victory at WrestleMania 38, where he unified the WWE and Universal Championships. His appearances have been primarily limited to premium live events and a few high-profile episodes of SmackDown. With WrestleMania 41 season fast approaching, fans are eager to know when the Tribal Chief will step back into the ring. The timing of Reigns' cryptic post coincided with WWE's announcement of Elimination Chamber 2025, scheduled for February 17 in Perth, Australia. While Reigns has not officially been advertised for the event, the alignment of dates and the milestone-themed message have led many to believe that he could make his return at the Chamber or on the lead-up episodes of SmackDown. Another layer of intrigue comes from recent developments within the bloodline. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso have been holding down the fort in Reigns' absence, but tensions have been brewing. On a recent episode of SmackDown, Solo was seen glaring at Jimmy during a backstage segment, sparking rumors of a potential power struggle. In the closing moments of the episode, Heyman was caught on camera saying, "The Tribal Chief doesn't like chaos." This offhand comment could indicate that Reigns is planning a return to restore order within the bloodline. Historically, Reigns has stepped in when family disputes threaten the stability of his faction. Could his next appearance center around solidifying the bloodline's dominance ahead of WrestleMania season? WWE fans are nothing if not passionate and creative. Following Reigns' cryptic post, theories about his next appearance spread like wildfire. Some believe the milestone he referenced could be tied to his championship reign, which is inching closer to the historic 1,000-day mark. If this is the case, Reigns might appear on SmackDown to celebrate the milestone and set the stage for his WrestleMania challenger. Others speculate that Reigns could return to confront a new threat. Cody Rhodes, who has been vocal about finishing his story and claiming the WWE Championship, remains a potential opponent. Additionally, whispers of The Rock returning for a dream match against Reigns have resurfaced, especially with WrestleMania being held in Reigns' backyard of Philadelphia this year. Paul Heyman, ever the master strategist, has been instrumental in keeping Roman Reigns' presence felt even when he isn't on screen. On recent WWE programming, Heyman has dropped subtle hints about the Tribal Chief's return. During a backstage segment with Adam Pearce, Heyman mentioned that Reigns has been monitoring everything and is ready to strike when the time is right. Heyman's words, combined with Reigns' cryptic social media activity, suggest a calculated return designed to maximize impact. Whether it's to address the state of the bloodline, defend his championship, or confront a new challenger, fans can expect a meticulously planned appearance. If history is any indicator, Roman Reigns' next appearance will likely kick off his road to WrestleMania. The Tribal Chief has headlined the last 4 WrestleManias, and there's little doubt he'll be at the forefront of WWE's biggest show once again. The question remains, who will challenge him for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship? Potential contenders include Cody Rhodes, who came agonizingly close to defeating Reigns at last year's WrestleMania, and LA Knight, whose popularity has skyrocketed in recent months. Another intriguing possibility is Seth Rollins, who has a storied history with Reigns and recently teased wanting to take down the Tribal Chief. While WWE has not officially confirmed Roman Reigns' next appearance, all signs point to a major moment in the coming weeks. Whether it's at Elimination Chamber, on an episode of SmackDown, or a surprise appearance at a live event, fans can expect Reigns' return to be a game-changer. His presence will undoubtedly shift the dynamics of WWE programming, setting the stage for WrestleMania season and providing clarity on the future of the bloodline. Will he mend the rift between Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, or will he take a more ruthless approach, potentially exiling one of them? One thing is certain, when Roman Reigns does return, the entire WWE universe will be watching, ready to acknowledge their Tribal Chief once again. As fans eagerly await confirmation of Roman Reigns' next move, the speculation and excitement only grow. With WrestleMania on the horizon and tensions within the bloodline reaching a boiling point, Reigns' next appearance promises to be nothing short of monumental. Until then, the WWE Universe can only analyze every cryptic post, every word from Paul Heyman, and every subtle hint, hoping to piece together the puzzle of Roman Reigns' next chapter. Roman Reigns' former rival attacks the OTC nearly 2 years after their last WWE match. A ghost from Roman Reigns' past returned to haunt him on WWE Raw's Netflix debut as Kevin Owens attacked the OTC during the Tribal Combat match. However, a foe-turned friend was there to make the save for Reigns. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa faced off in a tribal combat match on the Raw debut episode on Netflix. The winner was acknowledged as the tribal chief. The bout was filled with interference as both iterations of the bloodline made their presences felt. However, the major surprise came when Kevin Owens came out of nowhere to attack the head of the table. The prizefighter, however, was soon neutralized by Cody Rhodes, who came out to make the save. Kevin Owens was involved in a heated feud with the Bloodline nearly 2 years ago. He last faced Roman Reigns in a singles match at Royal Rumble 2022, where he lost to the then undisputed WWE Universal Champion. The prizefighter attacked Cody Rhodes a few months after the latter tagged with Reigns for a match. It should be interesting to see how the OTC reacts to the attack, given that he seems to have ended the feud with Solo Sikoa. The WWE Universe was buzzing with anticipation as SmackDown aired live from the iconic Madison Square Garden. The tribal chief Roman Reigns, though absent for weeks, remained the central topic of discussion. The Bloodline's implosion and the rise of the OTC, Order of Tribal Champions, led by Solo Sikoa, had reshaped WWE's landscape. Just when fans thought the drama couldn't escalate further, an unexpected attack by one of Roman Reigns' fiercest former rivals sent shockwaves through the arena. The OTC's dominance Solo Sikoa, alongside the OTC members Jimmy USO and Rikishi, had been asserting their dominance in Roman's absence. Claiming the mantle of leadership, they declared themselves the rightful heirs to the Bloodline legacy. Week after week, they dismantled opponents, leaving no doubt about their strength. However, questions lingered: how long would Roman Reigns remain silent? SmackDown kicked off with an in-ring celebration of the OTC's latest victory over LA Knight and John Cena. Solo Sikoa stood stoically in the center, his presence as intimidating as ever. Jimmy USO, cocky and confident, grabbed a mic. "We don't need Roman. We are the tribal champions now," Jimmy declared, drawing a mixed reaction from the crowd. The head of the table is old news. The Bloodline? Finished. We're rewriting history, starting with us. Suddenly, the arena lights dimmed, and the Titantron played a cryptic video montage of Roman Reigns' epic battles. The fans erupted into cheers, but it wasn't Roman who appeared on the stage, it was Braun Strowman. The monster among men returns. 2 years had passed since Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman last clashed in a brutal last man standing match. Strowman had been sidelined with injuries and quietly released from WWE, only to make a surprise return under the radar. His reappearance now, targeting the OTC, was both shocking and timely. The 6 feet 8 inches, 385-pound powerhouse stormed the ring, his signature roar echoing through the garden. The OTC members froze, their earlier bravado vanishing. Strowman wasted no time, leveling Jimmy USO with a devastating clothesline. Rikishi, stunned by the sudden assault, tried to intervene but was met with a thunderous running power slam. Solo Sikoa, however, stood his ground. Strowman and Solo locked eyes, the tension palpable. The crowd chanted, "This is awesome," as the two titans exchanged thunderous blows. Solo gained the upper hand momentarily with a Samoan spike attempt, but Strowman countered with a spine-shattering slam that shook the ring. Backstage fallout. As the OTC regrouped backstage, Jimmy USO clutched his ribs, visibly shaken. Rikishi paced nervously while Solo sat in brooding silence. Paul Heyman appeared, his face pale and anxious. "Braun Strowman is a problem," Heyman said, his voice trembling. "He's not here for the OTC, he's here to send a message to Roman Reigns. But that message could destroy all of you in the process." Solo, unfazed, stood up. "Let him come. We'll take him out like we've done everyone else." Heyman sighed. "You don't understand, Solo. Strowman doesn't just fight. He demolishes. He ruins legacies. If Roman doesn't return soon, the OTC could fall apart." Braun's motive. Later in the night, Braun Strowman took to the ring with a microphone, addressing his shocking attack. 2 years ago, Roman Reigns broke me," Strowman began, his deep voice resonating. He beat me down, left me lying in a heap, and moved on like I didn't exist. But I'm still standing. And now, I'm here to take down everything he built." The crowd roared as Strowman continued. "The OTC? You're just cheap knockoffs. Solo, Jimmy, Rikishi, you think you're untouchable? You're not. Roman isn't here to protect you, and I'm not stopping until I tear you apart." The tribal chief's warning as the show neared its end, a surprise pre-recorded message from Roman Reigns played on the Titantron. Seated in his lavish island estate, Roman appeared calm but menacing. "Braun Strowman," Roman said, his voice dripping with disdain. "You think you can come back and destroy what I've built? The bloodline, the OTC, it all exists because of me. Without me, you're nothing. You're a footnote in my story." He leaned closer to the camera, his eyes narrowing. "But you've made your choice. You've poked the bear. And when the tribal chief returns, you'll kneel like everyone else." The crowd erupted into a frenzy, chanting Roman. Roman, as the screen faded to black. Chaos ensues in the final moments of SmackDown. Braun Strowman ambushed the OTC during their backstage segment. He threw Rikishi through a catering table, smashed Jimmy Uso into a locker, and left Solo Sikoa buried under equipment crates. The show ended with Strowman standing tall amidst the wreckage, his message loud and clear: Braun Strowman was back, and he wasn't stopping until the OTC and Roman Reigns were destroyed. The road ahead the WWE Universe was left with burning questions. Would Roman Reigns return to confront Braun Strowman? Could the OTC survive without Roman's leadership? And what role would Paul Heyman play in this escalating feud? One thing was certain: Braun Strowman's attack had reignited the fire of unpredictability in WWE, setting the stage for an epic clash that fans wouldn't soon forget. Roman Reigns officially handed a new nickname following Tribal Combat match on WWE Raw. Roman Reigns took on Solo Sikoa in the Tribal Combat match this week on WWE Raw. It was one of the most anticipated showdowns in recent memory, and while there was interference as expected, it was Reigns who was able to come out on top. Reigns was then announced as the OTC following his win, but ring announcer Alicia Taylor made it clear that this now stood for only Tribal Chief, since he had been able to defeat Sikoa and take back his Ula Fala. The new Bloodline and the original Bloodline were involved in the match, as were Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Owens has been vocal about his issues with the Bloodline and was there to deliver a stunner to Roman Reigns. However, he was prevented from hitting his piledriver when Cody Rhodes ran out, and the two men brawled into the back. This left Roman Reigns and Sikoa in the ring, and after avoiding a Samoan spike, Reigns was able to deliver two spears to make sure that he was able to pin his former teammate and family member and take back his birthright. It's unclear if the new Bloodline and the original Bloodline will now be split across brands, or if there's a way for the story to continue. Roman Reigns, the self-proclaimed head of the table, stepped into the WWE Raw ring to address the fallout from his monumental Tribal Combat match at the Royal Rumble. The crowd in the packed arena was electric, chanting his name mixed with boos, as Reigns, dressed in his signature black tracksuit and adorned with the WWE Universal Championship, walked down the ramp. The Tribal Combat match, a brutal war against his cousin Solo Sikoa, had left the WWE Universe in awe. The match was more than just a physical battle, it was a war of ideologies, tradition, and power. With the Samoan elders watching from the sidelines, Reigns managed to retain his title, but not without significant scars, both physical and emotional. As Reigns grabbed the microphone, the crowd fell into an anticipatory hush. The Tribal Combat match wasn't about titles. Reigns began, his voice steady, but tinged with exhaustion. It was about respect, about proving that I am, and always will be, the leader of this dynasty. He paused, his intense gaze scanning the audience. But after what happened, after the battles I've fought, and the blood I've spilled, it's clear to me, and to everyone, that I've transcended being the head of the table. The crowd erupted, unsure whether to cheer or jeer. Reigns smirked. I am no longer just the head of the table. I am the Iron Chief of the WWE. The nickname Iron Chief was met with a mixture of astonishment and applause.
It symbolized resilience, unyielding strength, and an unbreakable will, qualities Roman had exhibited time and again throughout his dominant reign. As the crowd buzzed, Paul Heyman entered the ring, clutching a microphone and looking as though he had just seen a divine revelation. "Ladies and gentlemen," Heyman began, his voice dripping with reverence, "what you witnessed at the Royal Rumble was nothing short of a transformative moment in sports entertainment history. My tribal chief, excuse me, my Iron Chief, has redefined what it means to be a leader, a champion, and a warrior." Heyman gestured toward Reigns with dramatic flair. "The Iron Chief has proven that his supremacy is forged in fire, unbroken by betrayal, and destined to endure forever." The audience erupted in a mixed reaction. Even those who detested Reigns' arrogance couldn't deny the significance of his achievements. Reigns shifted the conversation to Solo Sikoa, whose challenge had sparked the tribal combat match. "Solo, you thought you could take my place? Take what I've built," Reigns said, his tone growing colder. "But the truth is, you're not ready. You're strong, you're ruthless, but you're not me." Reigns' words hung in the air, heavy with finality. He glanced at the entrance ramp, as if daring Solo to confront him. Just then, Solo's music hit. The Samoan enforcer stormed down to the ring, his face a mask of defiance. He stepped into the ring and grabbed a microphone. "You think this is over, Roman?" Solo growled. "You might have won the match, but you didn't break me. And you sure as hell didn't win my respect." The crowd roared, sensing the tension boiling over. Before the situation could escalate, the Titantron lit up, revealing a live feed of the Samoan elders. The eldest among them, Alpha, spoke first. "Enough!" Alpha's voice boomed through the arena. "Roman Solo, this war between brothers must end. Roman, you've earned the title of Iron Chief, but with that title comes responsibility." Alpha's stern gaze shifted to Reigns. "You must lead with honor, not ego. Solo is not your enemy. He is your blood." The elder's decree seemed to weigh heavily on both men. Solo glared at Roman but reluctantly nodded, acknowledging the wisdom of their elders. Before Reigns could respond, Cody Rhodes' music hit, and the crowd erupted. The American Nightmare strolled onto the stage, microphone in hand, and a smirk on his face. Well, Cody began. "The Iron Chief, huh? That's a nice little nickname. But let's not forget, Roman, that while you're busy handing out titles to yourself, there's one title you still haven't truly earned: undisputed respect from everyone in this locker room." Cody's words struck a nerve. Reigns' face darkened as Cody continued. "You may have survived tribal combat, but your reign as champion won't survive me," Cody declared. The crowd went wild, chanting Cody. "Cody! Cody!" Reigns stepped forward, his expression a mixture of amusement and disdain. "Cody, you talk a big game, but you've already failed once. What makes you think you can take this from me?" he said, raising the Universal Championship. Cody smiled. "Because, Roman, the cracks in your empire are showing. You might be the Iron Chief, but iron can still be melted." The tension was palpable as the two stared each other down. Finally, Reigns raised his microphone. "Fine," Reigns said. "You want your shot at greatness. At WrestleMania. You'll get it. But this time, Cody, when I beat you again, there will be no excuses, no doubts, and no more challenges. Your story ends, and mine solidifies forever." As Reigns' music hit, and he exited the ring, flanked by Paul Heyman, the WWE Universe couldn't help but buzz with anticipation. The new nickname, Iron Chief, seemed to encapsulate everything Roman Reigns had become: a hardened, unrelenting leader who would stop at nothing to maintain his dynasty. But questions lingered. Could Cody Rhodes finally dethrone the Iron Chief? Would Solo Sikoa truly accept his place in the family hierarchy? And what role would the Samoan elders play in keeping the peace? One thing was certain: the road to WrestleMania had never felt more intense, and the legacy of Roman Reigns, the Iron Chief, was about to be tested like never before. Disappointing news on Roman Reigns, reports. Fans have been waiting with bated breath to see Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa battle it out at the upcoming edition of WWE Raw. However, if a recent report is to be believed, Things may not pan out the way everyone is hoping it does, as the Bloodline leader is expected to retain his Ulafala over Reigns. Raw's first episode on Netflix boasts of a tremendous card, with several highly anticipated matches and returns being confirmed. Among them is the tribal combat match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa that's been building for months now. Considering he's the bigger star and the fan favorite, many fans are expecting Reigns to win and gain back his Ulafala in a feel-good moment. However, as per the insider account, Zero News, Sikoa could be walking out with the Ulafala intact around his neck on WWE Raw. Check out the post below. Zero News had earlier reported that Solo and Reigns' match wasn't going to be a feud-ending one, but that they would go to war at WrestleMania 41 too. Chris Van Vliet thinks The Rock could cost Roman Reigns his match on WWE Raw. On a recent episode of his Insight podcast, Chris Van Vliet predicted that the only logical outcome on WWE Raw would be Roman Reigns winning back his Ulafala from Solo Sikoa. However, the noted wrestling personality feels Reigns could lose to Sikoa only if The Rock made his presence felt and cost him the match. I don't see any other scenario other than Roman Reigns with his arm raised at the end of this. So I would pick Roman as the winner here. The only way I could see that not happening is if The Rock somehow interferes, and then he gets involved in this, and he **rues over Roman. That's the only way that I don't see Roman winning this match, CVV said. The Bloodline saga has been wildly unpredictable, and it's safe to say WWE could have another twist planned when Reigns and Sikoa have their showdown. Roman Reigns, the undisputed centerpiece of WWE for the past 3 years, has been synonymous with dominance, storytelling brilliance, and larger-than-life moments. Whether you love him or hate him, Reigns' tribal chief persona has transformed him into an icon of modern wrestling. However, recent developments have left fans and insiders stunned as WWE announced some deeply disappointing news about Roman Reigns' immediate future. The announcement that shocked WWE Universe. During the January 5th episode of WWE SmackDown, Paul Heyman appeared in an uncharacteristically somber mood. Standing center stage with a microphone in hand, Heyman informed the WWE Universe of unexpected news. Roman Reigns would be stepping away from WWE indefinitely due to health concerns. While Heyman refrained from going into explicit details, the mere mention of health issues caused waves of concern among fans. This is not just about a champion, Heyman began, his voice unsteady. This is about a father, a leader, a man who has given every ounce of himself to this industry. For now, Roman Reigns must focus on himself and his family. He will not be present to defend his title, his throne, or his legacy for the foreseeable future. The announcement was met with a mix of gasps and murmurs in the audience. The once boisterous crowd at Madison Square Garden fell silent, processing the gravity of Heyman's words. Details surrounding Roman Reigns' hiatus. Sources close to WWE revealed that Reigns has been battling a combination of physical burnout and lingering health issues related to his past battles with leukemia. While the company has been careful to manage his schedule, it seems the cumulative effect of carrying WWE on his shoulders has taken its toll. Reigns' reduced appearances over the past year were initially perceived as strategic, giving him a superstar aura akin to that of Brock Lesnar or The Rock. However, insiders have disclosed that his limited schedule was less about creative direction and more about allowing him to recuperate between major events. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported, Roman Reigns has been working through a lot more pain than people realize. His immune system, while strong enough to keep him active, has occasionally struggled under the stress of a full-time wrestling schedule. WWE doctors recommended this extended leave to ensure he doesn't face long-term complications. Impact on WWE storylines. Reigns' absence couldn't have come at a more complicated time for WWE. Heading into Royal Rumble season, and with WrestleMania 41 on the horizon, Reigns was poised to continue his historic title run. Speculation was rife that he would face a returning Cody Rhodes, The Rock, or even Seth Rollins in marquee matches. With Reigns out of the picture, WWE faces the monumental challenge of reshaping its creative plans. The Tribal Chief storyline with the Bloodline, one of the most compelling narratives in recent WWE history, now hangs in limbo. The Bloodline without its chief. The question on everyone's mind: what happens to the bloodline? Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso have been integral to the faction story, but without Reigns, their direction feels uncertain. WWE Creative is reportedly considering several options to maintain the bloodline's momentum. 1. Solo Sikoa's ascension. There is buzz about positioning Solo Sikoa as the de facto leader of the bloodline in Roman's absence. While Solo has been an enforcer and loyal to Reigns, stepping into a leadership role would mark a significant shift in his character. 2. Jimmy Uso's power grab. Following his betrayal of Roman at SummerSlam, Jimmy Uso's redemption arc was in progress. WWE may pivot this storyline to explore Jimmy vying for control of the bloodline, leading to internal conflict with Solo and Jey. 3. The bloodline disbands. Some sources suggest that WWE could disband the bloodline altogether, allowing each member to pursue individual storylines. This would signify the official end of an era. Fan reactions pour in. The news of Reigns' hiatus sparked an outpouring of reactions from fans across social media platforms. While many expressed concern and sent well wishes, others lamented the uncertain future of WWE without its tribal chief. At Wrestling Superfan, Roman has given us some of the best moments in wrestling history. If he needs to step away, we'll support him. Get well soon, big dog. At Heel Heat, I'm gutted. WrestleMania won't be the same without Roman Reigns, but his health comes first. At Tribal Chief Stan, this isn't the end, it's just a pause. Roman will come back stronger than ever. Believe that. Notably, even wrestlers outside WWE chimed in. AEW's Chris Jericho tweeted, "Roman is one of the best in the business," wishing him strength and a speedy recovery. WWE's next steps. With Roman Reigns sidelined, WWE has big decisions to make regarding the undisputed Universal Championship. There are whispers that Triple H and the creative team are considering the following. 1. Interim champion. WWE could introduce an interim title holder, keeping the undisputed Universal Championship intact for Reigns' eventual return. This would maintain his status as the longest reigning champion of the modern era. 2. Stripping Reigns of the title. A more controversial option involves stripping Reigns of the title, effectively ending his record-breaking reign. This would open the door for a Royal Rumble winner to claim the vacant championship at WrestleMania. 3. Splitting the titles. WWE could use this opportunity to split the Universal and WWE championships, allowing Raw and SmackDown to have separate world champions again. A message from Roman Reigns. Shortly after Heyman's announcement, Roman Reigns broke his silence on Instagram, posting a heartfelt message alongside a photo of his family. Reigns wrote, "I've been fortunate to live my dream and share it with all of you. But right now, I need to step back and focus on what matters most, my health and my family. This isn't goodbye. It's see you later. Thank you for your prayers and support. #WeTheOnes." The post quickly garnered millions of likes and thousands of comments, with fans, fellow wrestlers, and celebrities offering words of encouragement. The legacy of the Tribal Chief. Even with this hiatus, Roman Reigns' legacy remains untouchable. His 1000+ day reign as Universal Champion, unforgettable matches against opponents like Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, and his role as the Bloodline's leader have cemented him as one of WWE's all-time greats. While his absence will undoubtedly leave a void, it also presents an opportunity for WWE to elevate other talents. Stars like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and LA Knight are primed to step into the spotlight, ensuring the company's momentum continues. A hopeful return. For now, fans can only hope that Roman Reigns takes the time he needs to recover fully and return stronger than ever. The Tribal Chief's absence may be disappointing, but his health and well-being take precedence. As Paul Heyman aptly put it during his announcement, this is not the end of Roman Reigns. This is merely a chapter in his ongoing story. And when he returns, he will remind the world why he is the head of the table. Roman Reigns breaks silence on The Rock acknowledging him at WWE Raw Netflix premiere. Roman Reigns is once again the only Tribal Chief in WWE, following his big win over Solo Sikoa on Raw's debut on Netflix. However, that wasn't all that happened with the Big Us. After he won the tribal combat match, The Rock entered the ring for a seemingly tense confrontation. He took the Ula Fala from Paul Heyman and proceeded to put it on Reigns' neck, officially acknowledging him as the tribal chief. It cemented the Great One as a babyface, while subtly hinting at a future match between the two. During the post-show press conference, Roman Reigns spoke about this moment with The Rock. The OTC said it was a great honor to represent his family, before mentioning the Wild Samoans. Reigns added that all he wants to do is represent his family on the biggest stage. I say it all the time. It's all about this representation. That's all I really want to do is represent my family and just showcase our talents and just how good we are at this craft. And tonight was just another opportunity to go out there and do that. And who better to do that with than Dwayne, said Reigns. 27:54, 28:18. It remains to be seen if Roman Reigns will face The Rock at any point down the line. It was an evening that seamlessly blended Hollywood glamour with the electrifying world of sports entertainment. WWE's collaboration with Netflix had finally come to fruition, and the red carpet premiere of their highly anticipated series, WWE Raw Origins, drew an array of celebrities, WWE superstars, and industry titans. Among them was the head of the table, Roman Reigns, whose presence dominated the event like a true tribal chief. However, the night took a shocking turn when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made a surprise appearance and publicly acknowledged Reigns as the true leader of the wrestling dynasty. The Rock's acknowledgement sent shockwaves through the WWE universe, setting social media ablaze with debates and speculation. Fans eagerly awaited Roman Reigns' response, knowing that every word from the tribal chief carried weight. And when Reigns finally broke his silence, he did so in a manner befitting his larger-than-life persona. The build-up to the premiere. The buzz surrounding the Netflix premiere was already at a fever pitch, with rumors circulating that The Rock might make an appearance. After all, he had been instrumental in WWE's mainstream crossover, and his ties to the Anoa'i family were well documented. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, had maintained a calculated silence during the lead-up, focusing instead on his ongoing dominance as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Arriving at the event dressed in a sleek black suit adorned with a golden tribal pattern, Reigns exuded an aura of power and authority. His confidence was unshakable, his smirk unbothered by the whispers of a potential confrontation with The Rock. The moment of acknowledgement. As the premiere unfolded, The Rock made his grand entrance, much to the surprise of everyone in attendance. The People's Champ, dressed in a casual yet stylish ensemble, greeted fans and media with his trademark charisma. But it was when he took the stage to deliver an impromptu speech that the atmosphere shifted. With everything we've accomplished as a family, there's one man who has taken our legacy to heights we couldn't have imagined, The Rock began, his voice commanding attention. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table. He's the one carrying the torch now. And tonight I acknowledge him. The crowd erupted into a mix of cheers and gasps. Even Roman, seated in the front row, raised an eyebrow at the unexpected gesture. For years, fans had speculated about a clash between the two Samoan titans. This public acknowledgement felt like both a concession and a challenge wrapped into one. Roman Reigns breaks his silence. The following day, WWE.com released an exclusive sit-down interview with Roman Reigns, filmed backstage at the premiere. Seated in a luxurious lounge, Reigns looked. When asked if he felt The Rock's words hinted at a potential match, Reigns smirked. People love to stir the pot, don't they? Look, Dwayne's smart. He knows where the real spotlight is. If he wants to step into my ring, he knows the consequences. But let's be real. He acknowledged me because he understands there's no one on my level. The family dynamic. The acknowledgement also brought up questions about the dynamics within the Anoa'i family. For years, the bloodline storyline had captivated fans, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. The Rock's comments seemed to further solidify Reigns' position as the leader of their wrestling dynasty. When pressed on how the family reacted to the moment, Reigns gave a rare smile. Our family has always been about respect, and respect is earned. What I've done as the tribal chief has elevated not just me, but all of us. Dwayne sees that. He may be Hollywood's biggest star, but even he knows where the real power lies. He paused, his expression turning serious. At the end of the day, family is everything. But in this business, there's no room for sentiment. If he ever tries to step out of line, I'll remind him why I sit at the head of the table. Fan reactions and speculation. As the interview aired, fans flooded social media with reactions. Some viewed The Rock's acknowledgement as a symbolic passing of the torch, while others speculated that it was a setup for a WrestleMania showdown. Hashtags like #TribalChief and #Roman vs. Rock trended worldwide, with fans passionately debating the potential implications. One tweet captured the sentiment perfectly. The Rock just acknowledged Roman Reigns. Is this the ultimate sign of respect or the calm before the storm? WrestleMania 41. Here we come. The bigger picture. Beyond the family drama and potential in-ring implications, the moment also highlighted the broader impact of Roman Reigns' reign. His transformation into the Tribal Chief had not only revitalized his career, but also elevated WWE storytelling to new heights. The acknowledgement from The Rock felt like a culmination of that journey, a moment that underscored Reigns' cultural and professional significance. In his closing remarks during the interview, Reigns reflected on his legacy. This isn't just about me or The Rock. This is about our family, our heritage, and the millions of people who look up to us. I've taken on the responsibility of being the face of this business, and I've done it better than anyone else. So if Dwayne wants to acknowledge that, good for him. But remember this, the Tribal Chief answers to no one. What's next for Roman Reigns? While the acknowledgement from The Rock was a defining moment, it left the WWE Universe with more questions than answers. Would this lead to a long-awaited match between the two icons? Or was it simply a gesture of respect, with no further implications? As always, Roman Reigns remained enigmatic about his next move. However, one thing was certain. The Tribal Chief was not resting on his laurels. With challengers lining up and the bloodline story far from over, Reigns continued to reign supreme, his dominance unshaken. In the days following the premiere, WWE teased a major announcement on SmackDown, further fueling speculation about the future of the bloodline and the possibility of The Rock's involvement. Whether as allies or adversaries, the prospect of Reigns and The Rock sharing the spotlight again had fans eagerly tuning in. In the ever-evolving world of WWE, moments like these are rare, moments where fiction and reality intertwine, leaving an indelible mark on the industry. Roman Reigns and The Rock had created one such moment, and the ripple effects were sure to be felt for years to come. As the WWE Universe braced for what lay ahead, one thing was clear. The Tribal Chief's reign was far from over, and his legacy was only just beginning. Roman Reigns breaks silence after The Rock puts the Ula Fala on him, reacts to his Tribal Combat win. Roman Reigns regained the Ula Fala on this week's Monday Night Raw. On social media, he reacted to his victory over Solo Sikoa. Reigns and Sikoa took each other to the limit in a tribal combat. The Bloodline and the OG Bloodline got involved during the contest, with Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn taking the fight against Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes also played a role during the match, with the prizefighter hitting the stunner on Reigns only to be dealt with by the American Nightmare. On social media, Reigns shared a photo of him with the Ula Fala around his neck. The only Tribal Chief asked the WWE Universe to acknowledge him. Post-match, Paul Heyman proceeded to put the Ula Fala around Roman Reigns' neck. The duo were interrupted by The Rock, who kept a close eye on the Reigns-Sikoa showdown. The final boss embraced the OTC and put the Ula Fala around the latter's neck. At WrestleMania XL, Reigns teamed up with The Rock, who joined the bloodline leading up to the show. WWE, or The Rock himself, is yet to confirm his plans for the future, as his WrestleMania 41 status remains in question. Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and self-proclaimed head of the table, has always held his cards close to his chest. However, the shocking conclusion to the recent Tribal Combat match at WWE SummerSlam left fans, wrestlers, and critics alike buzzing. The Rock's unexpected appearance and his symbolic act of placing the revered Ula Fala around Reigns' neck marked a monumental moment in the history of the Bloodline and Samoan wrestling heritage. In an exclusive interview with WWE.com, Roman Reigns opened up about what transpired that night, the significance of the Ulafala, and his thoughts on the tribal combat match against Jey Uso. The tribal combat match between Roman Reigns and his cousin Jey Uso was billed as the ultimate showdown for supremacy within their family. More than a title was on the line. It was a battle for the position of tribal chief, a role steeped in Samoan tradition and respect. Reigns reflected on the grueling match, which saw both men push their physical and emotional limits. Tribal combat isn't just about who's the strongest or the smartest, Reigns said. It's about proving who's worthy to carry the legacy of our ancestors. Jey gave everything he had, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, I'm not just fighting for myself. I'm fighting for our family's future. The match was a spectacle of brutality and drama, with Jey Uso coming within moments of claiming victory. Yet, in a controversial turn, Solo Sikoa interfered, aiding Reigns and ensuring his reign as tribal chief continued. The WWE Universe erupted when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made his way to the ring after the match. The Rock, a global icon and proud Samoan, hadn't been seen in WWE for years, making his return even more impactful. His gesture of placing the Ulafala, a sacred Samoan necklace that symbolizes leadership and respect, around Roman's neck left everyone stunned. When The Rock's music hit, I knew something big was about to happen, Reigns admitted. But I wasn't expecting him to walk out there and do what he did. That moment, it wasn't planned. It wasn't scripted. It was real. Reigns paused, his voice steady, yet carrying a weight of emotion. The Ulafala isn't just a necklace. It's a symbol of who we are and what we stand for. For him to pass that to me, in front of the world, it's a responsibility I don't take lightly. Despite their familial bond, there has been tension between Reigns and The Rock over the years. Rumors of a potential match between the two at WrestleMania had fueled speculation about a power struggle within the family. However, Reigns dismissed the notion of animosity, focusing instead on their shared heritage. Dwayne paved the way for guys like me. He showed the world what Samoan pride looks like. I've always respected him for that, Reigns said. But that night, when he put the Ulafala on me, it wasn't about the past. It was about the future. Reigns continued, The Rock has done it all in Hollywood and in WWE. But he's also a man who understands tradition. That gesture was his way of saying, you're ready. This is your time. And I accept that responsibility with honor. While much of the post-match discussion has centered around The Rock, Reigns took time to address his relationship with Jey Uso. The two cousins have been embroiled in a bitter feud that has blurred the lines between family and rivalry. Jey's always been my biggest supporter and my toughest critic, Reigns said. He challenged me in ways no one else could. But at the end of the day, this was never about tearing him down. It was about building him up, showing him what it takes to lead. Reigns hinted that Jey's journey within the bloodline might not be over. He's proven he's a warrior, but being tribal chief is more than that. It's about making decisions that affect everyone, not just yourself. Jey will always have a place at my table, but he has to find his own path now. The involvement of Solo Sikoa in the match sparked outrage among fans, with many feeling it tainted the purity of the tribal combat stipulation. However, Reigns defended Solo's actions, calling him the enforcer of the bloodline. Solo understands what it means to protect the family, Reigns said. He did what needed to be done, and I respect him for that. But he's still young. That night at SummerSlam wasn't just about me. It was about everyone who came before me and everyone who will come after. The Rock's gesture reminded me of the weight I carry, but it also reminded me of the strength I have. This isn't the end of the bloodline story. It's just the beginning. Roman Reigns' words carry the confidence of a man who knows his place in history. With The Rock's endorsement and the Ulafala now a part of his identity, the tribal chief stands at the pinnacle of his career. But as WWE fans know, the journey of the bloodline is far from over. Whether new challenges arise from within the family or from outside forces, one thing is certain. Roman Reigns is ready to face them head-on, with the pride of a champion and the legacy of a chief. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa gets decisive winner. Only tribal chief crowned on Netflix premiere of WWE Raw. Solo Sikoa collided with Roman Reigns on the latest episode of WWE Raw in a tribal combat match. There was a decisive winner, and a tribal chief was confirmed. The former NXT North American champion sent the OTC to the post and took him out with a clothesline in the ring. He then slammed the latter on the announce table with a runnage and hit him with a monitor. Solo tossed a steel step into Reigns' face and pummeled him with a chair in the ring. Roman Reigns hit Solo Sikoa with a steel chair several times, but was nailed with a low blow. Sikoa planted Reigns with a spinning solo onto a steel chair and got a 2 count. He hit Roman with a kendo stick several times. Roman Reigns powerbombed his opponent through a table and went for the cover, but Tama Tonga pulled out the referee. Jacob Fatu attacked Roman, and Solo hit the OTC with a Samoan spike, which got a 2 count. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn came out, and a brawl broke out at ringside. Roman speared Solo Sikoa for a near fall. Kevin Owens hit Reigns with a stunner, but Solo only got a 2 count. Cody Rhodes came out and attacked KO. In the end, Roman hit Solo with 2 spears and won the match via pinfall. This means that he's officially the tribal chief again. Paul Heyman presented him with the Ula Fala. The atmosphere in the arena was electric, a fitting setting for the Netflix premiere of WWE Raw. For weeks, the WWE Universe had been buzzing about the impending clash between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, 2 pillars of the bloodline, set to determine the one true tribal chief. The stakes had never been higher, as the match promised not just supremacy, but the ultimate affirmation of leadership within the storied Samoan dynasty. Roman Reigns' reign as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion had been marred by infighting within the bloodline. Solo Sikoa, the silent enforcer, had grown weary of Reigns' manipulative tactics and apparent favoritism toward Jey and Jimmy Uso. Solo's loyalty was no longer guaranteed, and tensions boiled over when he publicly challenged Reigns during a fiery SmackDown promo. "You don't speak for me anymore, Roman," Solo had declared, throwing down the gauntlet. "You're not my tribal chief." Paul Heyman, ever the instigator, tried to defuse the situation, but the seeds of rebellion had been sown. The WWE Universe clamored for a showdown, and the WWE brass decided the Netflix debut of Raw was the perfect platform to settle the score. WWE spared no expense in making the Netflix premiere an unforgettable spectacle. The production values were on par with a blockbuster movie. A cinematic promo package opened the show, chronicling the bloodline's rise, dominance, and eventual implosion. Celebrities, including Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Momoa, were spotted ringside, adding an extra layer of star power to the event. The match itself was billed as the battle for the tribal crown, with the winner receiving a custom-made Samoan ceremonial headdress and an official declaration as the only tribal chief. The match began with an intensity that reflected the personal stakes involved. Roman Reigns entered first, accompanied by Paul Heyman and a contingent of security guards, emphasizing his status as the reigning tribal chief. Solo Sikoa followed, walking alone, a stark contrast that underscored his defiance and independence. The opening minutes were a psychological chess match, with both men attempting to assert dominance. Roman's calculated approach clashed with Solo's raw, unbridled aggression. Solo gained the early advantage, surprising Reigns with a Samoan drop and a brutal series of headbutts. "Solo Sikoa is here to prove a point," Michael Cole exclaimed on commentary. "He's not backing down from the head of the table." Reigns fought back, utilizing his experience and cunning to slow Solo's momentum. A vicious Superman punch sent Solo reeling, but he refused to stay down. The crowd erupted as Solo countered a spear attempt with a thunderous spinning solo, nearly scoring the pinfall. Midway through the match, chaos erupted as Jimmy and Jey Uso stormed the ring. Their loyalties had been uncertain since their fallout with Roman, and their presence added a layer of unpredictability. Jimmy appeared to side with Roman, distracting the referee to allow Reigns to deliver a low blow to Solo. Jey, however, intervened, superkicking Roman and reigniting their feud. The crowd roared as the brothers brawled at ringside, leaving Solo and Roman to settle their score. With the ring cleared of outside interference, the match reached its crescendo. Solo, bleeding from a cut above his eye, unleashed a ferocious assault on Roman, hitting him with a trio of Samoan spikes. The crowd chanted, "Solo! Solo!" as he ascended the turnbuckle, preparing for a splash that could end the match. But Roman, ever the strategist, rolled out of harm's way. Seizing the moment, he delivered a spear that seemingly split Solo in half. Instead of going for the pin, Roman locked in the guillotine, determined to make Solo submit. Solo clawed and fought, refusing to give up. But the relentless pressure of the hold began to take its toll. Just as it seemed Solo would pass out, he mustered a final surge of strength, lifting Roman onto his shoulders for a jaw-dropping Samoan drop. The arena erupted as both men lay motionless on the mat. The referee began the 10 count, but Solo was the first to stir. Summoning every ounce of strength, he hoisted Roman onto his shoulders once more, delivering a devastating avalanche Samoan spike from the second rope. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang, and the crowd exploded. Solo Sikoa had done the unthinkable. He had defeated Roman Reigns cleanly in the middle of the ring. As the referee raised Solo's hand, Paul Heyman stood at ringside, his face a mask of shock and disbelief. The custom-made ceremonial headdress was brought into the ring, and a Samoan elder, flown in specifically for the occasion, placed it on Solo's head. "You are now the only tribal chief," the elder proclaimed, cementing Solo's victory. Roman Reigns, broken and defeated, crawled out of the ring, his aura of invincibility shattered. For the first time in years, the head of the table looked vulnerable. The match's implications reverberated across the WWE universe. Solo Sikoa's victory marked the end of Roman Reigns' historic reign and signaled a new chapter for the bloodline. Fans and analysts alike speculated on what this meant for Roman's future. Would he seek redemption, or would this loss mark the beginning of the end for his WWE career? The Netflix premiere of Raw was hailed as a massive success, blending the drama of professional wrestling with the production quality of a Hollywood blockbuster. Solo Sikoa's coronation as the tribal chief was the perfect climax, leaving fans eagerly anticipating what was next for the bloodline. The decisive clash between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa delivered on every level, providing a thrilling main event that lived up to the hype. Solo's victory not only crowned him as the sole tribal chief, but also established him as a bona fide main event star. As WWE Raw's Netflix era begins, one thing is clear: the bloodline story is far from over, and the ripple effects of this match will be felt for years to come. The Rock acknowledges Roman Reigns as the tribal chief on WWE Raw, snubs Solo Sikoa. The Rock appeared on WWE Raw's debut episode on Netflix and commented on who he acknowledges as the original tribal chief, along with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. They are all part of the Anoa'i family wrestling dynasty. After Cody Rhodes defeated the OTC in the main event of WrestleMania XL, Rock went on a hiatus for several months. His cousin Solo Sikoa replaced him as the tribal chief during his absence. The former NXT North American champion stole the Ula Fala, kicked out Jimmy Uso and Paul Heyman, and added new members to the group. Roman Reigns returned to WWE and declared himself the only tribal chief. On the latest episode of Monday Night Raw, The Rock revealed which side of the fence he was sitting on. During an in-ring segment, he stated, "I want to acknowledge one other man, and that's my cousin Roman Reigns. Not only is Roman Reigns the tribal chief, but he is the original tribal chief," said The Rock. The Great One snubbed Solo Sikoa, who believed he was the tribal chief since he possessed the Ula Fala. While Roman is the tribal chief, the People's Champion is legitimately the High Chief. The tension in the WWE Universe was palpable as Monday Night Raw aired live from a sold-out arena in Chicago. The night had been promoted as one of the most anticipated episodes of the year, with rumors swirling about a monumental confrontation between Roman Reigns, The Rock, and the Bloodline. Fans were already on the edge of their seats, awaiting what could be a defining moment in WWE history. The tribal chief arrives. Roman Reigns made his entrance flanked by Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso. The tribal chief exuded his usual aura of dominance, holding the undisputed WWE Universal Championship high above his head. The crowd erupted into a mix of boos and cheers, the sound shaking the rafters. As Reigns stood in the ring, Heyman handed him a microphone. "Chicago," Reigns began, his voice steady but commanding. "Acknowledge me." The crowd's reaction grew louder, with fans either raising their arms in acknowledgement or defiantly chanting against him. Reigns smirked, clearly enjoying the control he held over the crowd. "I've beaten everyone," Reigns continued. "There's no one left who can challenge me. No one can step up to the tribal chief." Just as the WWE Universe thought they had heard it all, the iconic guitar riff of electrifying hit, and the arena erupted. The Rock returns. The People's Champion, The Rock, emerged from the curtain, his energy electrifying the crowd. Dressed in a sleek leather jacket and sunglasses, he soaked in the thunderous ovation. As he made his way to the ring, he paused to take in the chants of "Rocky, Rocky," before stepping into the squared circle. Reigns stared at The Rock with a mix of surprise and disdain, while Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso positioned themselves protectively behind their leader. Paul Heyman, looking visibly shaken, whispered something into Reigns' ear. The Rock raised a microphone, flashing his signature grin. "Finally, The Rock has come back to Chicago." The crowd roared in response. "But more importantly," The Rock said, his tone turning serious, "The Rock has come back to address some family business. A family showdown." The tension in the ring was thick as The Rock turned to Roman Reigns. "Roman, I see you standing here, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. I see you, Paul Heyman, clutching onto his pearls like his life depends on it. And I see Solo Sikoa." The Rock paused, looking directly at Solo. "Or should I say, the silent enforcer who thinks he's ready to take my place in this family." The crowd gasped, sensing the subtle jab. Solo's face remained stoic, but his body language suggested he was itching for a fight. "Easy there, big man," The Rock continued, addressing Solo. "You're tough, no doubt about it. But you're not me. You're not The Rock, and you never will be." The crowd erupted, the tension between The Rock and Solo intensifying. "But this isn't about you, Solo," The Rock said, turning back to Reigns. "This is about the man standing in the middle of this ring. Roman, I'll admit it. You've done what no one else in our family has done. You've carried this business on your back for over 3 years. You've dominated everyone in your path. And as much as it pains The Rock to say it," The Rock took a deep breath, his expression softening, "you've earned the right to be called the tribal chief." Roman Reigns acknowledged. The crowd reacted with shock as The Rock extended his hand toward Reigns. Roman hesitated, his expression unreadable, before finally shaking The Rock's hand. The moment was historic, the People's Champion acknowledging the head of the table. But The Rock wasn't finished. "Now, before you let this acknowledgement go to your head, let me make one thing clear," The Rock said, his tone growing sharper. "This doesn't mean I agree with how you've treated our family. Uso, you drove him out of the bloodline. Jimmy, you've manipulated him into being your lackey. And Solo," The Rock turned to Solo again, this time with a more serious expression. "Solo, you're better than this. You don't need to stand in anyone's shadow, not mine, and certainly not Roman's. But if you think you're ready to take me on, then by all means, step up." Solo Sikoa responds. Solo finally stepped forward, his face inches away from The Rock's. The crowd went wild, sensing an impending clash. Paul Heyman, looking panicked, tried to intervene. "Ladies and gentlemen, let's not escalate." "Shut your mouth, Heyman," The Rock barked, cutting him off. The crowd exploded in cheers. Solo remained silent, his intense gaze locked on The Rock. Roman, however, held up his hand, signaling Solo to step back. "No," Reigns said firmly. "Solo, stand down." Solo reluctantly obeyed, but his eyes never left The Rock. "You see, Rock," Reigns said, his voice dripping with confidence, "this isn't your family anymore. This is my family, and Solo knows where his loyalty lies." The Rock issues a warning. The Rock nodded, a sly grin forming on his face. "Fair enough, Roman, but let me leave you with this. The moment you slip up, the moment you lose control, this family will crumble. And when it does, The Rock will be right here, ready to pick up the pieces." The crowd erupted as The Rock dropped the microphone and exited the ring, his theme music blasting through the arena. Roman stood in the ring, his expression unreadable, while Solo Sikoa glared at The Rock as he walked up the ramp. Aftermath. Backstage, Kayla Braxton caught up with The Rock for a quick interview. "Rock, you just acknowledged Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, but you also had some harsh words for Solo Sikoa. What's next for you?" The Rock smirked. "What's next for The Rock? Well, let's just say this isn't over. The Rock's got his eyes on the bloodline, and you never know when the Great One might step back into that ring." As The Rock walked away, the camera cut back to the arena, where Roman Reigns was still in the ring, deep in thought. Solo Sikoa stood by his side, but the tension between the two was undeniable. The WWE Universe was left buzzing, wondering what the future held for the bloodline. Would Solo Sikoa continue to stand by Roman Reigns, or would The Rock's words plant a seed of doubt in the silent enforcer's mind? And most importantly, was this truly the end of The Rock's involvement with the bloodline, or just the beginning of a new chapter in their storied family saga? Conclusion. The Rock's acknowledgement of Roman Reigns as the tribal chief was a historic moment, but his snub of Solo Sikoa added a layer of intrigue to the ongoing bloodline saga. As the WWE Universe speculated on the fallout, one thing was clear: the story of the bloodline was far from over.